receiving me back all nice, safe and sound on the Central Coast, back in my car, back in my spot, back in my car. My goodness, I feel as though I've spent my whole life in my car. What a big day that was. Yeah, but got home all nice, safe and sound. I prayed to the Lord that He'd get me home all safe and sound, and no real incidents. Not Freemason safe and sound. They tried their best. They tried their best on numerous instances to keep me all nice and safe with their speed cameras. And there was one there where we're going down the Great Dividing Range, and it's like this slope is like this, 100 k's, and 100k speed. No, it wasn't. It was 80 actually going down the hill. They lowered the speed limit going down the hill just to keep us all nice and safe, because our safety is so important to them. Down the hill I was going, and yeah, sure enough, they had a mobile speed camera halfway down. It's like, oh, are you people serious? Going down the Great Dividing Range after they'd lowered the speed limit. It's just, I've just seen a car go past with a great big truck, great big Sun logo on it. Oh. It's good to be back. It's very, very good to be back. I've just come in from the gym, and the free-to-air TVs are there, all in bright orange again. I've just had none of this for about a week since I've been away. It's been wonderful to be freed from it, but here I'm back in the pit now, and there they all were. There was a group selection there, that group thing I've talked about before, that panel. A woman in this bright orange dress from head to toe. She was just in bright orange, and they're throwing out the Masonic hand signs. They had like, there's some sort of marriage show, one of these shows where people get married and just defiling the sanctity of marriage even further. And there's this woman with just these lips, these massive, massive lips, she's an Asian woman. Oh, you racist, you said Asian. So there's this Asian woman where she's got these massive big lips, these synagogue of Satan lips that she had going on, and she's heartbroken apparently, and she was in this wedding dress, and she's just run away from somebody, and she's all heartbroken, and she's pretending to cry, and while she's crying, she's trying not to laugh, and it's just, I just look at it and I think, you just abominable creature. Then they had this old couple on there. They would have been, they were 82, and the thing just said smitten with this show, whatever it's called. I think Love at First Sight or something, or Marriage at First Sight, or some shit. But these two people, and you could see them, the bloke was doing the big pyramid ones, the one where you put your fingers together, and he's like got his thumbs and he's pulsating together, like boom, 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 putting them together just to reiterate that I'm a Freemason. You think at 82 they'd want to repent, but no, they absolutely unrepentant this bloke was. And you could see what they were doing. I couldn't hear the volume, I couldn't hear what they were saying, thankfully. Mercifully, I can't hear in there. They've just got their buoyance and black goo music, the demonic sounds playing in there. But I've got my headphones in all nice and loud, and, I'm not going to say my music is any less demonic, but what music is it? I mean, what music can we listen to here that's not of the devil? I mean, you put Christian music on and they're all Freemasons. It's like, well, what do you do, I listen to trance music, and I know it's demonic. I know trance music's demonic, but it's got no lyrics, and it's just melodies, it's just sound, and I've always liked it. And I don't know, I think if you're aware of it, and, I've prayed for discernment with it, and I'm not just going to drive around and in silence and go to places like that with and have to listen to their shit. So, I don't know. It's a hard one, isn't it, music? It's really difficult. I've got one song which is a gospel song, but even that one's got a bit of a Pentecost feel to it, and Pentecostal feel to it. I mean, what do you do? But anyway, mercifully, I couldn't hear these creatures, but you could see the woman, she's going, you could see she's being naughty. She's being very, very naughty with her thoughts and all this sort of stuff. And you can see what they're doing just without even the sound. It's like, well, if 82-year-olds, people, can have these naughty thoughts and be a little bit, bit of sodomy here and there. It makes it okay for all these other older people, and it makes it more okay for the younger people. And society just goes further and further into the pits of hell. And if you're not on board, if you're not with it, you're like me, you need to get out of the 1950s and get into the current day. I'm like, well, I'm in the current day. Regrettably, I'm on Earth in 2019, and I just see through the shit. Doesn't mean I'm some old fogey, stuck in the past. No. I'm some 45-year-old guy stuck in a place I don't want to be. Bright orange shirt, security, they all wear bright orange now. Anyway, a couple of other things, sort of things I saw. So Josh was in there, and it was really interesting. Josh, my personal trainer, mate, the Freemason, he's in there. And remember the two stories I've got with Josh. The first one was I was in the middle of a set, and he come up and he asked me to move because he claimed I was in his way, and I just wasn't in his way. The thing he was trying to do, he could have went around me quite easily, or he could have just said to me between sets, look, just watch yourself there, mate, I'm going to be doing this. And I probably would have moved if he had have come up to me like that. I would have, okay, I'll give you some space, I'll go and do this over there. But no, we chose to do it mid-set. And then the second time I'm doing these ones, the lat pull down ones, and he comes over between sets this time, and he asked me if he could share the piece of equipment with me. And I'm like, well, no, you've got a full gym here, mate. You told me last time I've got a full gym. But anyway, there's this young bloke in there. You know, he would have only been about 22, this young fella, and he's got the really fit body, and he's got the real gym look going on with him, you know. And he's only a young bloke, and he would have been younger than Josh. I reckon Josh is about 30. And anyway, this bloke just spent the whole morning on his phone. He was just a pain in the ass. There was one machine I wanted to get onto, and I was just about to go to it, and he went to it. I thought, oh. So I knew I wasn't going to get on that, because he literally just sat in there all morning on his phone. And he must have sat on the bench press. I was in there for about 3/4 of an hour, and he sat on the bench press, I reckon, for a good half an hour, and just did nothing. He just sat there on his phone on this thing. Just so annoying. But anyway, Josh wanted to use it. I could see him. He wanted to use it, and he's got a client. But no, he didn't go up to this bloke. He went up and he just improvised. He went up. There's a machine there where you can use it like it's got like a brace, a frame each side, and you get lift it up and you put it back into the slot that way. It's like a Smith machine, except that it's not self-propelled. The weight, people that go to the gym will know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it was a different style of machine. But he just improvised this time, and I just think, well, okay, one of two things happens here. Is Josh has learned a thing or two from our exchanges? Don't think so, because he would have after the first one, but the first one was a bit fiery, and the second one he left just going, oh, you, like, as in, you know, he was unrepentant, he was right and I was wrong, you know. So I don't think it's that, or possibly he's just got it in for me, you know. It just goes to what I say. That's just my life, guys. It's absolutely fine for the personal trainer to come up to me mid-set and tell me to move, and it's absolutely fine that he comes up and it's my fault that I don't want to share a piece of machinery that I'm on, and then he's got that double standard where there's a young bloke younger than him, a bit more buffer than me, a lot more buffer than me, who's just sitting on a machine, just playing on his phone. No, we won't approach him. But nah, I'm just a raving lunatic, and I just take everything too personally, and I'm paranoid, and I just take everything to heart. I just take everything to heart. You see shit and you call it out, and they just attack you. That's about all I saw in there. I thought there was one more thing. There probably was. There was all sorts of stuff going on in there this morning. But anyway, I just wanted to share just a couple of observations I had too on my trip home there yesterday. So you saw that chemtrail video I did there. It was absolutely insane. And to see that Knights Templar shield in that Stonehenge monument was just incredible. So that whole area, where was it? I think it was Glen Innes it was called. Tenterfield, I think it was Glen Innes. You get all these towns there, they get a bit confusing. You go through so many, but it was all it was surrounded by rocks. I don't know whether they were put there naturally or what. And there was one there called the Balancing Rock, and you could see it from the road, and you think, it just didn't look natural. It all looked to be a little bit, they all seemed to be placed there, and all around it was just these rocks. It was really, really strange. And then they've got this rest area that I happened to stop at, and it's a funny story, because it's a funny story, so I've got to stop saying that, because that's when it's the Lord. So I've been trying to stop for an hour or so, and I hadn't, because the chemtrails were way more intense, like an hour before I did that video. Like you saw the ones I did in the distance. They were where I'd just come from, and you could see the planes. You could physically see the planes, and they're just like doing grid work all over the place, you know. And I'm been trying to do the video for about an hour, and I couldn't do it. And I get there and I see all that. I see the Knights Templar shield, and I see that Lions Masonic shield there as well inside that monument, and it's just like it blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. But anyway, it really got me, because that's the Lord working. Like the Lord wants me to have this YouTube channel. He wants me to do it, because it's enabling me to grow in the Lord, because it's a way, because I've got no one to talk to, it's a way that I can just talk. And like now I'm just talking instead of just sitting here. I'm sitting here talking to myself. Absolutely. I'm in a car, but you watch this video and it's like I'm talking to you. I watch these videos back and it's like I'm not talking to anyone. I'm talking to an audience, and that's where these videos have been so good for me. But as I look around now, I'm conscious because people think I'm talking to myself, I'm really conscious of it. Like there's a guy pulling up next to me now, so I'm going to close my door, But anyway, this YouTube channel's been really, really good for me. This has enabled me to grow and the channel's growing. We're up to 77 now, and I note there's a few more subscribers that have come on board, and I thank you for that. And I just want you to know that this is a diary of my walk with the Lord. This channel is all about the Lord. It's all about praising the glory of Yeshua, Jesus, and it's just about my growth there. So thank you for coming on board, and I hope you can get some nourishment from this channel, and I hope you can bring some nourishment to me and my fellow subscribers there as well. But the channel's grown, and the Lord wants me to have it because it's also enabling me to reach others. So the channel's become important for me because I can sort of just say what I'm thinking, and it's helping me to grow. But I just thought, I've been thinking to myself this morning about these chemtrails that I saw, and I just can't shake the feeling of, well, it's in the middle of nowhere, and there was no crops. Like there's meant to be a drought here in Australia. Like everybody's just got their knickers in a knot here in Australia because of the farmers. And every single time I see an interview for a farmer talking about the drought, they're doing Masonic hand signs. So I smell a rat straight away because and also there's a big thing about coal. They about not being able to mine for coal on farmland. And nobody can answer me these two questions. It's like, why are they building farms where it doesn't rain? And why are they building farm where there's great big, massive coal deposits? Like they're meant to know the core of Venus. They know what's inside bloody Saturn, but they don't know where a coal deposit is here before they build a bloody farm. It's like, you try and add all this shit up, and it just doesn't. I mean, they just punch holes in their own argument constantly, and people like me come along, and we're just written off as a raving lunatic. But anyway, you see all these chemtrails, and there's no farmland there at all. There's meant to be a drought, so it's not crop dusting. It's not contrails. It certainly wasn't contrails. I mean, they were chemtrails, and they were hardcore. It was like I don't know how far the horizon is away, like where you can see the sky on the horizon, where you can't see sky anymore, where the sky meets the land. I don't know how far that is, but all the way around, it was just solid chemtrails, just solid, and it was grids. It was grid work, and you could see the planes, and you could see how they were interacting with each other and staying out of each other's way, and it was all such a big thing, and it was a big task that they had to do. And I was up at Agnes Water. It was probably about 18 months ago now. I was up at Agnes Water. It's a place about 500 k's north of Brisbane. When my life started going to shit and I started getting fired from a couple of jobs, I thought, right, I need to get away here. So I went up to Agnes Water for a few days, and I did a chemtrails video up there, and it was the same deal. It's same deal. So I saw all these chemtrails, and I'm thinking, it's Agnes Water. It's just this little pocket of just paradise in the middle of nowhere. Why? Like, I don't see these chemtrails in cities. I don't see it here on the Central Coast where there's a concentration of people. What's going on? What is this? It's weird. And then the Lord showed me over the last few weeks, he's shown me, well, what they're actually doing with these chemtrails is because they're poisoning us enough, aren't they? I mean, you come out of the womb, they vaccinate you straight away. So they poison you there straight away. They put fluoride in your water, and God knows what else they put in your water. And then they poison your mind at school. And then you eat genetically modified foods, and they want you to get fat, and everything you buy at the supermarket now is just disease ridden. It's either got some sort of chemtrail on the natural food, but you go and buy an apple or something from Woolies. I mean, you don't know where it's come from, and then you start to think, well, I probably do know where it's come from, because Woolworths, the big W, turn it around, it's a 3, and the logo's demonic, and everything here is just 2. You've got the Woolworths and you've got the Coles, and they just own the whole world, this dual system, this monopoly system they've got going on. So you know exactly what's on it. Well, you don't, but you know it's not good. So they just poison you from the moment you come out of the womb, and then they do chemtrails too. So I don't know if the chemtrails are that essential to them. So what are they? So I sort of alluded to it there yesterday on this on the video I did. I alluded to it, and it's like, to me, they're the other thing is they're definitely herding us into cities. People are definitely getting herded into cities, aren't they? Because I notice like the Central Coast here, it's just grown. It's grown exponentially since I was a little boy. So I've been here my whole life. I've been on the Central Coast my whole life. And I can't remember living anywhere else. We moved up here when I was like 9 months old, and this lady, this family's just got out of the car beside me. This lady's just got this, she's got like a all-seeing eye triangle pyramid thing tattooed right here. You just think, huh? So these, no, it's cool. Anyway, the Central Coast has grown like big time, and so have all the cities. Like the cities, they're choking, aren't they? The cities are huge. And I drove through town after town yesterday, and they are not growing. In fact, a lot of these towns are smaller than when I was there last time. You can see there's empty shops, there's empty buildings, the streets weren't busy. It was easy to get through all these towns, and you think, well, there's less people there, and there's more there, and all the chemtrails are where there's less people. What does this mean? What does this mean? To me, it's the hybrid creatures. So these hybrid creatures need a different atmosphere. They don't belong on Earth. I read about them in Jasher. They had the bodies of men from the waist up and the bodies of beasts from the waist down. And it's these fallen angels and all of these entities, these locusts that are going to come out of the bottomless pit when CERN goes click. When CERN finds that other side, and they find the dark matter, because it's all about light. When you follow Jesus, you're full of light, and light and dark can't overcome light, can it? Ever? No. So while you've got light in your heart, and while you've got light inside your vessel, you're a vessel of the Lord. While you've got the light inside you, the dark can't overcome it. But all of these people here, there's how many of us are there? One in how many 100,000 that have found the Lord? There's not many, is there? There's not many. That have found the Lord, and all of these people, when they tip over the other side and they can find this tangible thing that they're looking for, all of these people are just doomed, and they're just going to take the mark of the beast. And I note there this morning that Apple now have got some sort of new pay wallet thing going on where it's a wireless card, and it's everything's in your iPhone, and it's just one step away. They've got all the information of all your purchases. They just said, if you can't remember where you purchased something or what the amount of money was, all you have to do for your convenience is just, I love that, for your convenience is just tap on the interaction, and we will show you a map of exactly where you were. Oh, how convenient. You know where I am all the time. Excellent. And these people just think they're so cutting edge and cool, and they're just one step. Is that the mark of the beast? I don't know, because they're letting the dark in, and CERN's gone. I don't know, that 3 weeks ago when something changed in the spiritual world, I seriously think that could have been CERN. That could have been CERN going click. But to me, they just, I don't know, like breaking across to the other side. There's clearly something different. Something's changed. And to me, that's what these chemtrails are. They're because they're not going to want it. These creatures aren't going to want the cities, I would have thought, because they're not human. So they're going to want their whole open land, aren't they? It's beautiful land out there. It's interesting with the drought, like really interesting, because there's a drought here, and I know there's a drought because the Freemason farmers, pretend farmers that aren't dirty, get up there on the shows where the news presenters are throwing out Masonic hand signs, and they're telling me there's a drought. So now I have to donate to charity. I have to donate to a Switzerland charity so they can get more of my money and happily pay more at the supermarkets because of the poor farmers. And how do I know there's a drought? Because the TV said so. It's pissing down rain here. Ever since I got home here on the Central Coast, hasn't stopped raining. It rained quite a bit on the way home. Have a look at it on a map. It's called the New England Highway. It's got towns like Tenterfield and Tamworth on there. They're inland towns. Lots of farms there, but they all seem to be animal farms. I saw no food crops whatsoever the whole way down, and it was dark. It was gloomy. The countryside was green. Y crops can't go there. I don't know. Maybe they can't plant crops there because it does rain and there's no coal there. Don't know. That's the only conclusion I can come to this morning. But anyway, they're my observations of my drive home from Brisbane and the 12 hours since I've got home. I've come home to a whole heap of goodwill to family and friends, which has been absolutely lovely. It seems people have missed me. And for me, after these 45 years of just total and utter, dare I say, hell on earth that I've experienced before I found the Lord, it's really, really nice to come home to goodwill and people with a beaming smile when they see you. It's really nice. It warms my heart and it really encourages me that earth is not completely dark. So that's me. That's my morning. I'm off to another meeting with the beast today, the Salvation Army, Red Shield, Freemason, Red Shield, Swiss, Knights Templar, Red Shield today. It'd be interesting to see what they've got for me to. So all of a sudden now they're demanding I have to find a job. It'll be very, very cleaning jobs and the like. It'll be very interesting what they've got to say. But I've prayed to the Lord and the Lord will look after me. Whatever the Lord wants will happen today. And all praise goes to him. All praise goes to him. And some serious blessings go out to my brothers and sisters in the Lord. And once again, it's a big welcome to these new subs that have come on. There's about a dozen that have come on in the last couple of weeks. So I really appreciate that. I hope you can get some nourishment from the channel. And please feel free to contribute. If you are the enemy, I will see you a mile away with your comments. But if you genuinely, if you want to seek truth, if you want to seek Jesus more, and you want a fellowship, please comment. All you'll get here, if you're searching truth, no matter where about your journey is, no question's a stupid question. Everything is welcome here, and you'll be treated with nothing but respect, and the world will come open to you. So, but I will discern false voices. I did see somebody come on blathering shit about Jonathan Kleck today, about the Genesis 1:2 means about semen and all this shit, and I'm just like, just get away. Just get away from me, for I never knew thee. All right, so that's me this morning. Inside I have my cuppa. Oh, one last thing. I've decided the next stage of my journey, and I know you said it, Ryan. It doesn't mean because you said it, that's why I'm going to do it. The reason why I'm going to do it is because it's obviously the next part of my journey. I'm going to read the book of Adam and Eve. I've read the first 10 chapters of it. It's very, very nourishing. It's very interesting, this book. So I really feel as though that's where I need to go next. That's where the Lord's leading me to go next. I'm going to go inside, grab my cuppa, and get into that. All right, all blessings and many blessings go out to all my brothers and sisters in Christ.
Change your mind, the sun has come. You